Bây giờ mình sẽ đi qua một cái lớp học nghệ thuật khác, mà đây là lớp nâng cao. Để xem bên đây có cái gì nữa.
Ms. Lopez does primarily middle school art and then digital photography and some high school art. And Mr. Rogers does the rest of our high school art and our sculpture classes at Northland. So, here we go.
Yeah. This is a pretty relaxed group of people. Hi, Colin. But what are they?
They're just capturing life at Northland. So we've been to a few English math class, a couple sciences. I told them that the art classes are very good here.
Okay.
So we went to see Katie's digital photography, and they're doing stuff in the dark room, and then I know you have.
Right. Are you all around all day?
No, just through
Lunch.
Just through lunch.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, this is one of my smaller groups.
This one looks so cool.
Yeah. So what is this project?
Which one? This one here?
Yeah.
So they're working on she's finishing up. She's one of the last people to work. I think you are the last.
You do next after that.
So right now I have clay ordered. I'm gonna work with some clay, and then what I want to do is I want to do a yeah. So I want to try and put that up for the art show. I think that'd be cool.
When is the art show?
It's somewhere. It's in March. I think it's either the Friday right after or the Friday.
Thank you. Okay. Let me just see where the teacher is. Hi, we're back. Good. I'm sorry to just send I was just thinking you finished the first classes early, and they're filming things that would be particularly.
Ở đây mình có cô Courtney, cô sẽ dạy cái lớp giống như là lớp giao tiếp, lớp hùng biện phải không?
Hùng biện.
Lớp giao tiếp lớp hùng biện. Thì giống như học nói nãy đó là cái lớp mình sẽ các bạn học sinh có được cái sự tự tin nhiều hơn khi học ở lớp này. Và đây cái lớp mà các bạn nên lấy để giống như là có thể adapt một cái thích nghi vào cái văn hóa sớm hơn, nhanh hơn và có thể có sự tự tin hơn trong quá trình các bạn đi học. Thì học sẽ hỏi một số câu hỏi với cô Courtney để xem là cô sẽ giúp du học sinh như thế nào. How do you help the international students to adapt to the culture and then to build their confidence?
Mm-hmm. So in any of the classes that we have at Northland, but specifically the speech classes, we always start very simple and then build confidence and work our way up to larger, more complex topics and stages. So in communication applications, we start with something very small. They'll introduce their new best friend to the class and then work our way towards more complex topics. But we always encourage students to speak about things that they're comfortable with. So for our first project in class, they get to choose whatever topic that we want. One of our former international students is from Vietnam, and I actually just used her presentation as an example, and she chose to talk about traditional Vietnamese food because that's something that is very important to her, that she's very passionate about, and just seeing how it's easier for her to talk about something that she already has knowledge on is something that I try to incorporate in my classes.
That's all right.
I think that I would just encourage them that their voice is really important, that what they have to share is very important. So that's something that we try to talk about with our students, that their message is important even if they have different backgrounds or different opinions on topics. And then also just find a way to make that information something that is important to other students as well. So even though they come from a different culture, a different background, it's great for everyone to learn about those cultures and backgrounds. So people need to know what they think. That would probably be my biggest feedback for them.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I thank you so much for your time
Yes,
this morning.
nice to meet you.
Nice to see you.
Nice to meet all of you.
Not for the debate.
Yeah, that's for the debate.
Here's one here.
Ở đây mình có mấy cái huy chương của mấy bạn mà làm hùng biện được thắng giải. Qua đây coi thử.
And she came and saw the students when they did the UT tournament. So she was studying at the University of Texas, and we competed at that campus in December. She was so excited to see it. Yeah. Yes. And he's going with us to North Carolina on Thursday.
And the gymnasium, and then if you want to see anything else on campus.
That's great.
So this is Hop.
Hi, nice to meet you.
She teaches biology and anatomy and
Yes.
cheerleading.
Anatomy, cheerleading, AP Bio. Yes.
So they are from Vietnam, and they wanted to get an idea of some of the subjects that we're teaching and the opportunities that they would have for Vietnamese students.
Excellent. Yes. Because I've had 8 international daughters live with me over 6 years.
She has been a host mom
For a while.
a long
Wow.
time.
Yes. And so my very first one, Quinn, who was from Vung Tau. She went to Mississippi State. She lived with us for 2 years, her junior, senior year. And then she went to Mississippi State, graduated a year ago, and is working for, I can't remember the tire company, but she's a chemical engineer in Michigan now. Yes, doing really well. So.
Thì bây giờ mình sẽ vào lớp này, mình tham quan lớp này là lớp sinh học.
In a little bit.
And then she responded. She was like, "No, she didn't get invited. Yada yada yada. And, like they didn't invite any of the."
Yes. Well, this one's going to be practical. Okay. All right. So to the vertebrae, the 7 cervical, the 12 thoracic, the 5 lumbar, and then you guys have already seen the sacrum and the coccyx that are fused. And then we're also going to look at the bones. We're going to look at the bones separated, like we talked about on Friday, the atlas and the axis, looking at the differences between those vertebrae, the cervical, the thoracic, the lumbar. And we're going to take a look at, so you can see them kind of grouped together to know which type of vertebrae are which if I show them separately, or if you see them as a whole, like in the full skeleton of, Indiana bones here, and if you were to see them set up that way. So come back here for me. Come back this way. We're going to take a look. And if you remember, on Friday, we were looking at some of the bones of the skull. This one here. And if you remember, this one here, what was this bone? The mandible. Good. And then when we talked about what was above the mandible?
The maxilla.
Maxilla, good. Anybody remember the cheekbone here? Starts with a Z.
Zygo something.
Zygomatic process. Good, or zygomatic arch. Good. And then, of course, we know the nasal bone and then the septum in between. We also looked at the different parts of the skull. What is this one? The frontal. And then these two on the side. Parietal. And then what was the one? This one you can see it actually better in this one here. This was